Well, hi there. Welcome back to another episode of the All Around Growth Podcast. My name is Rob Kaiser and I am your host. Today is Monday, November 28th, 2022, and this is episode number 473 of a show where you join me with my family on our small farm and homestead, where we talk about the 5 W's and how as we grow all around here on the homestead at York Meadow Farm. And today is a Monday. And as usual, we are going to do a Monday market recap. And we are also going to outline the show for the rest of the week, including Friday's live stream. You may be asking why we are doing a Monday market recap today after the holiday. And why, you may ask. It was a long Thanksgiving Day weekend. There were no farmers markets, but we did run a Black Friday sale, and we experienced some problems with that. Problems that I ended up finding a solution for on account of you, the audience. And that was an interesting learning experience. But before we get into story time and how the Black Friday sale was not quite as successful as I'd hoped, let's take a moment to mention our sponsors. The show is sponsored by, you called it, York Meadow Farm. And here at York Meadow Farm, we produce handcrafted batches of probiotic rich fermented foods and natural bath and body products scented with pure essential oils. Because all of you guys have encouraged me to work with my parents to get the store, to get an online store operational. Um, we made that happen in the time frame that it did because you guys encouraged us to do so, encouraged me to do so, to work with my family to make that happen. And in order to say thank you to all of you, we are providing the best discount that we have to offer for online sales. And that is 25% off all orders by entering the discount code All Around Growth at checkout. So I would just encourage you to consider purchasing products that you likely already use or consume, or maybe ought to consume more of, i.e., those fermented foods. And consider picking those up from York Meadow Farm. And secondly, the show is sponsored by Buzzsprout. Maybe you want to start a podcast, but you're not really sure how. It seems intimidating. It is intimidating. It doesn't have to be. With Buzzsprout, I mean, I've used several other podcast hosts in the past, and when I wanted to get serious about doing this, I decided to use Buzzsprout. It's one of the best, in my opinion, it's the best podcast hosting platform. That's why I use it. They've been around in the podcast game since 2009. They're not a new platform. They're established, and over 100,000 people have used Buzzsprout to start a podcast. I'm one of them. It's easy to use. I'm not going to go into all the details about how easy it is to use, but it interfaces and gets everything up on all podcast players. So, if you've got something to say and share, get started today for free with Buzzsprout. It's the easiest podcasting software out there, bar none, in my humble opinion, and use it to share the message that you have with the world. So links to York Meadow Farm and Buzzsprout will be in the show notes for your reference. And for whatever it's worth, the Buzzsprout link is an affiliate link. So if you use that, you help me, you benefit, you get started doing what it is that you want to do. And, I get a little kickback because I'm an affiliate marketer for Buzzsprout. And I appreciate your support. All right. Now, let's get into the show. We're going to talk about the weekend market update along with, what we can expect for the rest of the week. And like I said, there was no farmers market, right? But the initial idea that we had with the whole long weekend, which you guys are very familiar with is Black Friday and Cyber Monday, which is relatively new. Now, these ideas are very simple, offer good deals for a very limited time frame, right? And that was the intent. That's what we did. That's what I did because I manage the way that things are working out here on the homestead is I'm turning into more of the manager of production and sales. Dad largely handles the everything administrative along with the bulk of the deliveries and pickup of the inputs that go into the product. And mom handles just about everything with the bath and body products. And so, in terms of the production and sales, which includes but is not limited to marketing, these are certainly good ideas. Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Now, one of the initial big failures that I had was a lack of timely marketing. And, you know, I'm trying to do all of this at the same time. Like this, and looking back, Thanksgiving week is probably the busiest week. Like it's becoming the busiest week of the year for me, maybe because Wednesday, Monday and Tuesday, I've got to get the bulk of the work for the week done because Wednesday we've got Christmas trees coming in. It's the day before Thanksgiving. There's a lot of running around to do. So that basically eats up half of the day right there. Even though Christmas tree sales, the incoming Christmas tree delivery doesn't take a long time to offload. There's still some setup and some running around and like I said, and that contributed to the lack of timely marketing. There are options that we're going to use in the future in terms of scheduling and things like this on social media and the newsletter and just everything that goes out, just overall communications to our customer base. But that is something that I didn't really do a very good job of. And that's a good thing, which might sound a little odd, but it's a good thing because one other thing I failed to do was I failed to test these new big deals that I implemented in the online store. And the result of not testing, not running a test order was the fact that on this current platform that we use for our store, the user is unable to run two or more discount codes concurrently or at the same time. So what really needs to happen is there needs to be some adjustments on the shipping and or a discount code that is exceptional, because what happens is when you use one of these discount codes, it apparently mitigates the shipping, and I'm not really sure how that works, and that is something that I definitely need to look into because that's a service quality problem. If you're running an offer and the offer that you're running turns out to be a couple dollars more because it mitigates the shipping, it looks stupid and it doesn't make sense. And that's exactly what happened. Luckily, while we had a few orders come in over the weekend, all of which were from return customers, only one of which capitalized on the Black Friday deal. And that was from the audience member out there who shall remain unnamed unless you want to find out more about all of this and get into the juicy details, which of course you can do in the Telegram group at t.me/all around growth. But yeah, this individual has provided a significant amount of input with regard to our store, our operating procedures, and I am exceptionally grateful for that. So you know who you are, and let's talk about that in the Telegram group, t.me/all around growth. So, lessons learned throughout this whole weird Black Friday experience. In the end, I made it right, did a couple things, and tried my best to make a Black Friday deal worth the hassle that was created in an effort to simply place an order. Anyways, thank you. I appreciate that. And basically, we just decided to pull the plug on any Cyber Monday deals. I've yet to look into this. I need to play around with some things this week, and we all realized, myself, my parents, that this is a good opportunity, but we're going to plan better for this next year. And I think that there's maybe even better potential for a Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal next year, anyways, because we had some discussion, my parents, or excuse me, the owners and myself, regarding the overall plan with our approach to marketing and branding, and the redevelopment of the website as well. Less discussion about the website, more on branding. And we put a little bit of a time frame to that. We're hoping to complete. We've been talking about this for a few months, and I initially started talking about a 12 to 18 month time frame to work all this out. We've continued those discussions, and over the weekend, we tentatively decided that we would have this completed by the end of next year. And I think maybe a better goal is to make some changes and adjustments. And we also discussed this to the website to facilitate the idea of rebranding, that there's two separate divisions, if you will, here in terms of products that are sold, and actually three separate divisions if we want to talk about the market garden that Cody manages. And I'd like to give him and all the work that he does a little bit more recognition and acknowledgement, because he is an integral part of the homestead here. And even though we don't directly sell what he grows, I like to think that Cody's involvement here is a la Salatin-esque Polyface Farm. Cody's running his own little fiefdom up there, and that's essentially what he's doing. He's fully in control of everything that's going on up there. And when next year, when I work with him, I look forward to simply, helping and being of service and doing whatever it is that I can do to help him out, and not really just stay out of it, except for helping in return for food and living a little more simple life. But we'll talk more about that later. So yeah, lots of good discussion this weekend on account of some of the failures that we experienced, and that facilitated some discussion about the growth and development that we have talked about and are currently working on implementing. And now we've got an opportunity to take some action steps with some timeframes. So, failures aren't always a bad thing. Quite frankly, I think failure is a good thing. It's how we learn. And if we're not making failures frequently, if we're not failing frequently, then we're not, it's probably an indicator that we're not really doing anything. And if we're failing in the same way repeatedly, that's an indicator that we're doing the wrong things. So just a food for thought on that. So what can we expect for markets coming up in December? Because it's December this week. Well, this Saturday on December 3rd, we've got the very first indoor winters market at Richardson Farms. And then the next Saturday, we don't have anything going on the 10th, but we do have a family dinner here. And my brother will be here with his daughters, and that will be a fun time. And hopefully, I can, with that being a couple weeks out, I can actually schedule some time with my brother and maybe we can go do something and hang out and talk, or maybe just do so over here, which probably would be the smarter thing to do, especially if we were to indulge in some adult beverages, maybe a heady old Sammy Smith oatmeal stout like the old college days. Who knows? Anyways, moving on. Next, the following Saturday after that, on December 17th, we have two markets going on. We have the Christmas Farmers Market at Boyert's Greenhouse and Farm, where mom and dad will be manning the booth there together. And I will be over at Richardson Farms for their indoor winter market. So we'll have two market presences in Medina at the same time on the same day, which is going to be fun. And we look forward to increased exposure with everything that's going on there. And finally, the Sunday after that is, believe it or not, Christmas Eve. So that's hard for me to understand. But as you can see in the background, or the background over here, I've had the Christmas tree up for a few days, almost a week now, not quite, but I got it up before Thanksgiving, um, because we've done a lot of things in the community, like setting up the luminaries and getting ready for the candlelight walk, which is the weekend before Thanksgiving. Getting things ready for, like I said, the busiest week of the year. Things to keep in mind next year when we talk about Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So next Monday, we will get back into the swing of things with a true Monday market recap. And, as we discuss how the very first winter market of the season went over at our friend's place, Richardson's, who are hosting, the indoor winter market for, I think, the second season. This might even be the third season of their winter market. I think it was the second season of their Fall Vendor Fest series. Last year, Dad and I attended the winter market in the latter half of winter, the first part of this year. And, attending the winter market with Dad and working every Saturday in the winter with him, or every other Saturday, whatever it was, sort of primed the pump for me to go full time later in the year, or earlier this year. So, anyways, we're not going to go down memory lane. We've done that enough in the past, and I'm not going to do that today. But that about concludes the market recap for today. The ideas that we had, the failures that we experienced, the results from that, and the lessons learned. And again, like I said, we wouldn't have been able to make the progress and do the things that we did and everything that I talked about today if it wasn't for your help. So thank you guys for, first of all, encouraging us to make this happen, get everything online. And then moreover, thank you for your continued feedback with everything, because it has been and continues to be very, very helpful. Okay, so Monday, today, that was the market recap. Tuesday, we're going to get back into the rotation of discussion topics about the 7 different aspects of life: financial, physical, personal development, family, spiritual, social, and career, right? So we had shows last week getting into this before Thanksgiving. We talked on last Monday about a financial topic with production costs. We talked Tuesday about boosting your energy and revitalizing your body with programs that include or are involved with Tai Chi and Qigong. Wednesday, we did a check-in with our goals, talking about these 7 different aspects of life: setting goals, how to follow up, the process and procedure that we use to implement the goal setting workbook in our life. And today we are back, or tomorrow rather, we're going to get back into the swing of things, talking about a family topic, which is just decompressing from the holidays, the Thanksgiving decompression. We're going to talk spiritual on Wednesday and read from the 365 Tao, a book by Deng Ming Dao, a book of daily reflections with a little poem, a theme of the day, and just a little bit of writing and reflection about that. And that seemed appropriate because Wednesday is the last day of the month. We are into December on Thursday, and taking something from or with a Taoist approach seemed appropriate because oftentimes those writings talk about the transition of the seasons and things like that. And we haven't talked about that in a while. And I look forward to some of the more esoteric nature of spirituality that comes with the dialogue of the Tao and seeing where that takes us. So we're going to talk about that on Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to talk about something from the social spheres, and we're going to talk about fraternal organizations, including but not limited to the Independent Order of Oddfellows. We're going to talk about fraternal organizations in general, and that should be an interesting show for sure. And then Friday on the live stream, we're gonna have an interesting topic on the live stream, and I look forward to promoting this and getting this out there. And I need to get something out there today because I'm going to talk about how to get paid to walk in the woods and travel. Yeah. Um, It may sound like a fairy tale, but I can tell you how to do it. And I'm going to on Friday. So that's what's in store for the rest of the week, guys. I look forward to catching you tomorrow and talking about the Thanksgiving decompression, which we are probably all trying to experience today, as many of us return to work, including myself. So, guys, that's it for today. I look forward to catching you tomorrow. This is Rob Kaiser, and thank you.